Aloha, Michelle Melendez, blossominnerwellness.com, and I wanted to do a video on relationships and families and friends and the frequency that we have with each other. And because it is the holiday season and you're going to be around a lot of people, families sometimes, and sometimes that can be really challenging. So why is that? Why is it that you tend to have the same arguments with the same people over and over and over again? It's a loop. It loops you. And the reason why it loops you is because the emotions that you have with a certain person become a conditioned pattern in your body. They're actually who you think you are. Like, I am this type of person when I'm with my sister. I'm this type of person with my mom, and you have a story around it because they act this way. So I get defensive. Oh, so you can create a whole story around, why you are a certain way with your family. But the real thing is it's a conditioned pattern that feels normal. It feels normal to be a certain way with, to always argue with your brother or whatever. It feels normal. That just feels like that's who you are with that person. But honestly, it's just a frequency. It's just a conditioned pattern that loops over and over and over again. So how do you change that loop? Because this stuff is trauma-based from your childhood, trauma-based from your childhood. And so when you have a trauma in your childhood that is created from an intense experience, something happened, intense experience, it could be as simple as you were embarrassed. Your brother came in and when you were, a second grader, third grader, whatever, and totally embarrassed you in front of the whole class. Now you have this trauma because what happened is all of your senses heightened. Your heart rate, your heart was beating faster. Your breath was shallow breathing because you were tensed up and you were feeling a strong negative emotion. And so what happens is the brain goes, "Ooh, I don't want that to happen again." So it creates what I can't remember who it was. It called a heart wall. They called it a heart wall. This one person, no, I can't remember its name. It's actually in my book, which I should have my book. It's End Dieting Hell, How to Find Peace in Your Body and Release the Weight. And you can find that on Amazon. Also, I'll put the link below. But what happens is, so that creates, you're trying to protect yourself. So you created a personality around specific people in your life: father, mother, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, cousins, all of it. So how do you change it? You become the observer of it. And this takes practice, because what's going to happen is you're going to get triggered. You're going to go in to the living room and so is there, who always bugs you or has this story, or you guys don't have the same political views or whatever. And they're going to say something, and all of a sudden it's going to fire up inside of you a response back. But instead of responding back, take a breath in your body. This is a human vessel. It's just a car that houses your soul to let you have a human experience. And notice, become the observer of that. Oh, that person is trying to egg me on. Interesting. I love the word interesting for so many different reasons. This is a great one though. Interesting. Oh, I'm interested. Oh, I'm starting to get emotional about this. I'm starting to get triggered with this person that just said this one thing that they know bugs me. They know it bugs me, but they're trying to egg me on. Isn't that interesting? Oh, I'm looking at how I'm responding. So you become the observer, and you have to do this before you get into the dinner. You have to tell yourself, I'm going to just observe how I react to other people. And I'm going to play a game with myself and see, can I react differently? Because how you react is a conditioned pattern response. It's the same frequency. So I said in another video that love is the highest frequency, love and peace are the highest frequency that there is. Depression is the lowest. That's why you want to sleep all the time, because it's a lower frequency. Then you have all the other emotions in the spectrum on that, in between those. So it's like, I'm starting to get annoyed. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to get annoyed. And you can even say it out loud. Wow, I'm starting to get annoyed. And guess what? That's not about you. You can tell your uncle, that's not about you. Or you can say it in your head, starting to get annoyed. That's not about my uncle. That's really interesting. This is me. This is about me. You breathe into it and you tell yourself, this is not a bad feeling. It's a normal emotional frequency because you are a normal human being in a human body. Well, you're actually a spirit in a human body, but a normal human body has the feeling of annoyance. I'm starting to get really angry. Oh, my dad just said such and such. He knows I'm not that political view and I'm still starting to get angry. Oh, that's so interesting. I'm starting to get angry. But he just said such and such. I don't have to make that mean that he's egging me on. I don't have to make that mean that he's right. I don't have to make it mean anything. We are meaning makers. You get to choose the meaning of the conversation of what you think that means. Now, I am not perfect at this at all, but I understand the concepts and I do practice it a lot. And I'll tell you right now, I am so much more a better person because of this practice, this work. And all it is becoming the observer, watching who you are, not the other person. So I was working with a client. I'm a live in a body love specialist, and I was working with a client of mine, and they said, you know, Michelle, well, so and so really, really triggers me. What can I do about that? And I said, well, it's not about them, you know, or how can I tell them to not do that to me? Okay, it was something like that. It was like, how can I tell them? How can I fix them? And I just started laughing. I'm like, it's not about them. It's about you. You can never fix anybody. And if you're trying to try to make everybody behave in a certain way to make you happy, you'll never be happy. So what you do is you fix yourself. Fix. And actually, I hate that. I really dislike that word because there's nothing to fix. Nothing to fix about you. This is just an exploration of who you are in the world. That's all this is. Your human body is allowing you to have relationships with people and allowing you to see who you are in relationship. That's how you understand yourself. Because you see who you are in relationship, you go, wow, I act like that when that comes up. That's interesting. So it's understanding that you're just here on this planet for lessons for the spirit to emotionally expand toward love, peace, and forgiveness. And forgiveness is also for yourself. So you're sitting at the dinner table, having these conversations. You hear uncle or your father say such and such, totally used to trigger you. You're feeling hard. You're feeling, oh, I want to be triggered right now. And you just explore it. You can actually start laughing at it. Oh my gosh, Dad, I totally want to come back with this conversation and go back and forth about politics. But you know what? This time, today, right now, Christmas Eve for dinner, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you how much I love you. Oh my God, that'll floor him. That will absolutely floor him and he won't know what to say. And you just changed the loop. You stopped the loop dead in its tracks. So it's not looping over and over and over again and saying the same conversations and the same arguments over and over and over. It stops. You stopped it because you became the observer, because you were honest and vulnerable, and because you did something that for you reconnected you with that person. It could be your father, uncle, sister, brother, whatever. So I invite you to give that a try. For Christmas, when you're around somebody that totally bugs you, be honest and be about you. It's not about the other person. It's like, wow, I am feeling really annoyed right now, and this has nothing to do with you. You can even tell them, this has nothing to do with you. I want you to know I really appreciate who you are and that you're my sister and you've been in my life for so long, and I want you to know how much I love you. Try that on. See what happens. That'll shift everything. You'll have probably the best Christmas you've ever had when you take responsibility for your reactions. And it's not about anybody needing to change for you to be happy. It's about you becoming the observer, seeing your personality and acknowledging it. Wow, this is about me. Oh, I am feeling this way, and it's like, I'm feeling this way. And this is not about you. Yeah, I love to say that. It's not about you. It's about me. And I want you to know how much I appreciate you. That's going to floor them. You'll change the loop and you'll have such a better holiday. So I send you so much love from the Big Island of Hawaii. If you want to support me at all, if this work supports you, please like and share the video. And you can buy me a coffee or check out my workouts below or see how we can work together maybe in the future. Sending you so much aloha.